I'm Taylor, a 23-year-old behavioral therapist living in a high cost of living area of the US. Because of this, I live with my parents and have very few true expenses. While I'm in the business of serving others, I'm working towards having my paycheck serve me in a smart and savvy way to build a strong financial foundation. Today, I'm going to go over my 2022 budget setup using a program called YNAB, or You Need a Budget. I love this program and it has absolutely changed the way I view my finances. I have a link in the description if you want to check it out. On this side over here, I'm going to go over my budget accounts as well as my tracking accounts, and then I'll get into how I break up my categories. I have a standard checking account where all my money comes in and out of, and then I make the decision of where to send it to. The sinking funds, emergency fund, and reserve funds are all high yield savings accounts. I will calculate how much I need and transfer it over to each account. Sinking funds, I'll go into more detail on the budget section. My reserve funds, I also have a breakdown in the budget section. And the reimbursed holding is for anything that I have made a transaction for on behalf of my family or friends. And this is an easy way for me to keep track of who it is for, how much it is, and what I purchased. So when they ask me exactly how much they owe me, I have it all right here. The reason I keep it separate from my checking account is because this money technically isn't mine. I've made a purchase on their behalf, but I'm getting reimbursed for it. So I don't want to include that in the amount that I have in my checking. When they have given me the money, then I will make a transaction in the checking and immediately make a transaction to pay off that card for the amount that they owe. For my tracking accounts, I only have one debt currently. It is for my car. I'm working to pay that off, but I also want to make sure that I'm saving for any event or potential money need in the future. So I'm working to also save up for some of my reserve funds while also paying this down slowly. My assets include my 401k from work, a Roth IRA from Fidelity, as well as an HSA and a brokerage account. I have a second Roth IRA from N1 Finance. This one is specifically for buying REITs, whereas my Roth IRA from Fidelity is my main Roth IRA where I have most of my investments. I also have a Coinbase account, but I don't actively put money in this. I did the initial deposit, and then I'll check in every once in a while to see if there's any videos I can watch and take the quizzes from to earn some crypto. All right, in my budget, I break it down through these different categories. There's a little dot next to each of them with a color. This is a color coding system that I used, and it just helps me keep track of everything. Orange is for any fixed subscriptions or variable expenses. Red is for any debt payments. Yellow is for my sinking funds. Green are for any savings, so I have my emergency fund as well as my reserve funds. Purple is for investments. I have a holding category, which I'll explain in a little bit, as well as a reimbursements, and then this calendar section in blue. So let's go through the first. I have my credit cards up here. This is something that YNAB populates for you, and I don't touch. Then I have my current subscriptions. I pay for Spotify and Apple storage. Under my variable expenses, I have a category called car care. This is for anything related to the upkeep and aesthetics of my car. So mostly car washes will go in here, or if I need to buy something for my car, like extra little trash bags that I keep in there, Febreze spray, any organizing things like pouches or baskets, that sort of thing. And then I have a main category for food. Like I said, I live with my parents, so the way that we work things out is that anything that is directly for me, so takeout, eating out, those kind of things, I will pay for. Any groceries are still currently paid for them. I also have gas for my car. And then I do usually get a manicure and a pedicure once a month. So this date here will change to reflect that day. And then also an unexpected category. The way I work unexpected is that for whatever reason, if I go over what I have assigned in the month, then I will pull from this unexpected. At the end of a month, Anything left over in these available categories will then move to the unexpected. It creates a little bit of a buffer just in case, for whatever reason, I spend more on food, more on gas, that sort of thing. For my debt payments, I currently have my car loan, and that amount is $447.57 a month. I'm also working to make an extra principal payment each month. My minimum goal is to make a $600 payment combined. So that means I would need to be making an extra $152.43 to the car loan each month. The way I do this is that I plan for this a month ahead. So there's $304.86 in there currently. Some of this is for January's extra payment, and then I've already set money aside for February's extra payment. In my sinking funds, I have general sinking funds as well as dated sinking funds. So I'll go through my general sinking funds first. I save for car maintenance, entertainment, gifting, giving, household items, medical and health, necessities. Necessities for me are things that I don't want to pull from my spending category down here, but are things that I still absolutely need to buy. For example, bras, underwear, sock pieces, things, a new comforter for my bed if that's needed. Things like that will go under necessities rather than my personal spending. Parking and tolls, spending. Once again, this is kind of like my allowance or what I allow myself to spend in a month. I keep it in a sinking fund because I like for it to roll over and build up. So if I want to buy something more expensive later down, I have the money set aside. Travel. And then these dated sinking funds. So I currently have a renewal coming up, and this will change at the end. I will keep the renewals, I will change the date, keep the renewal part, and then add whatever is next. So currently my RBT certification is next, but if I look down here at my calendar, I can see that after my RBT renewal, I will have to renew my AAA. So once I have paid for this RBT renewal, I will change this name to reflect the new renewal of the AAA. Next, I have taxes. I do need to pay an excise tax on my vehicle. Usually this is in February, so I just break it down and save a little bit each month. I keep my haircut and color as well as a dated. This will change to reflect my next appointment. Currently, my next appointment is April 23rd. And then I do save for contacts monthly. Again, I have an unexpected category. This covers anything within the sinking funds that may come up that I don't have enough money within the sinking fund. Hopefully, I will never have to touch this, and it just is a nice buffer. After that, I have my emergency fund. I keep it in two different places. I keep about $500 in my Bank of America checking, just in case a bill that's charged to that account exceeds it for whatever reason. It's a nice buffer. Currently, you're seeing I need $283.88 more because I did take some money out of this buffer to initially invest in my M1 Roth IRA. I do plan to reimburse this within the year, and I don't see that as a problem. I prioritized making my M1 account first. And then the bulk of it is in a high yield savings account at Discover. Here are my reserve funds. Currently, I have a reserve fund for electronics, medical and health, vehicle, and then this income holding. These three up here are for anything that I'm anticipating will be a big expense that could potentially happen. New tires on a vehicle, my phone breaks, I need to go to emergency room and I have a big bill, those kind of things are in here. And then my income holding is I get paid bi-weekly, which means that sometimes I have a 3 paycheck month, and I will make sure to put that third paycheck in income holding. And then anytime that I either take time off that's unpaid or I go on vacation and I don't have enough ETO, I will pull from the income holding to cover that income for that month. In my investments, I only keep the ones that I am currently having a goal for. I do have categories for all the other ones. However, I keep those hidden to not clog up my budget. Currently, I'm working towards maxing out my HSA for 2022. And then I would like to put more money into the M1 Roth IRA. I am not anticipating being able to max out that amount, but I am working towards it slowly. In my holding category, this is where I will see for the end of the current month to the date of my next paycheck, what do I need to cover in between. So in this case, January 31st to February 3rd. February 3rd will be my next paycheck, and I only need to cover $45 for these dates for next month, so I will make sure to set aside money for that in January. Then you have my reimbursements. This is also something that I have the other ones in hidden. These are currently the ones that I have any transactions in. And then my calendar. I will never assign money into my calendar. This is simply a system that I have to make sure that I don't forget about a transaction that's going to be occurring within the year, or in this case, in a couple of years. And it just makes sure that I am setting aside money for it and not surprised by any of these transactions. And we have made it to the end of my budget. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time with my paycheck number 2 for January 22. Budget with me. Have a good day.